Lesson 1. Lesson 1 is about simple sentence. Today we're going to look at one of the most basic building blocks for talking and writing, the sentence. Let me explain by telling this story. Billy. Billy loves to play baseball. He plays first base, but most of all, he loves to hit the ball. His team knows he's good at it. In the first game of the playoffs, his team won, partly because he hit a home run in the seventh inning. Billy was the hero. He couldn't wait to get home to tell his mom. As he entered his house, he shouted, "We!" His mother looked at him, puzzled, and asked what he's talking about. All Billy could say was, "We!" His mother shrugged off his excitement and continued with her work. Billy was disappointed that his mother did not share his excitement with him. Billy's team won the second game as well. Again, Billy ran home to tell his mom all about their victory. As he entered their home, he shouted, "Won!" Again, his mother looked at him puzzled and ignored him. Let's look at Billy's communication with his mother and see what went wrong, because he certainly failed to communicate his excitement to his mother. After the first game, Billy announced his victory by saying "we." This is what it looks like in a sentence. Subject, we. Billy announced who, but he did not say anything about who. In other words, Billy started his sentence with the subject, but did not say anything about the subject. Now let's look at Billy's communication after the second game when he shouted "won." This is what it looks like in a sentence. Predicate, won. This time he announced his some action, won, which is the main function of the predicate of a sentence, but he did not say who won. That's why his mother ignored him again. When Billy's team won the third game, it won the tournament and received the trophy. This time Billy shouted, "We won!" as he entered his home. Guess what? His mother instantly joined him in celebrating his team's victory. Why? Because she knew what Billy was talking about. Billy's sentence looks like this. Subject, we, predicate, won. His sentence had a subject, we, and a predicate, won. Billy had expressed a complete thought. That's why his mother could understand what he was saying. Billy had discovered the basic features of a simple sentence, subject and predicate. In fact, he soon realized that he had to include a subject and a predicate every time he wanted to say or write something that others could understand. To his disappointment, he found out that not all sentences have only action words in the predicate. For example, he was puzzled with the sentence, "I hit the ball," which looked like this. I, subject, hit, verb, ball, object. In this sentence, there is an action word, hit, which we call a verb. But the sentence also includes something that receives the action, ball, which we call an object. Billy could think of a number of sentences which include action words and something or someone who receives the action. Can you? Before long, Billy ran into another problem with this sentence about a sentence. Jane is a musician. It does not have an action word. What kind of sentence is this? It sounds right, but I don't know what it is, said Billy. Let me explain this sentence with the help of the following diagram. Jane is musician. Predicate noun. Billy's quite right. The word is not an action word. It connects or links a word in the predicate to the subject. The word in the predicate musician describes Jane. That's why we call this word a predicate noun. As for the word is, we call it a linking verb because it links two words, Jane and musician. Billy ran into one more problem as he looked through the pictures in the family album and saw a picture of his grandfather. He thought to himself, "My grandfather is old." This sentence does not have an action word nor a noun in the predicate, and yet the sentence sounds right. What kind of sentence is that? He asks himself. This is what the sentence looks like. Grandfather is old, predicate adjective. In this sentence, the linking verb is connects the subject grandfather to a word in the predicate which describes the subject grandfather. That's why the word old is called a predicate adjective. Sooner or later, Billy will discover much longer sentences and he will wonder what all those other words, are doing in the sentence. We will leave those questions for another time. For now, Billy has discovered the basic parts of every simple sentence he will see or hear. Let me summarize what we have learned in this lesson about simple sentences. Number 1, a simple sentence must have a subject and a predicate. 2, there are 4 sentence patterns for the simple sentence. Subject verb, we won. Subject verb object, Billy hit the ball. Subject verb predicate noun, Jane is a musician. Subject word predicate adjective, my grandfather is old. That's all. Thanks for listening. Try the following activities to find out how well you understand the 4 sentence patterns. After you have watched this lesson, go to www.sponsoravillage.ca for assignments on sentence patterns. Go to Grammar in the top navigation bar, then go to Sentence. Go to Writing in the top navigation bar and click on Sentence Patterns. If you have any questions you may have about grammar, go to www.sponsoravillage.ca and click on Ask Dr. Otto. I will reply to your sentences as quickly as possible.